Okay, everyone, good afternoon. I'm so excited to be sharing part 3 of my September shifting series with you. Our class theme today is really focusing on embracing the change, right? So part 1, we're anchoring ourselves in the present moment. Part 2, we really worked on what can we release, what can we let go of, and what systems can we really follow to help create the lives that we want to live. And today we are working on this idea of accepting impermanence. As we arrive at our mats today, I invite you to gently soften your eyes, connect with your breath, and I invite you to ask yourself this question. What changes in your life are you being asked to surrender to? What are you being asked to surrender to? We're always adapting, growing, evolving, exploring new environments, and creating new paths for ourselves. And this idea of impermanence, although sometimes scary, is what really causes us to take risks and take chances and to experience all the things we can while we're able to. Yet it's so easy to find ourselves in moments of uncertainty, unable to move forward, to release something that we know isn't right for us. We find ourselves fearful of the future because with it comes the unknown. But with this idea of impermanence today, I want you to truly ask yourself, what is it that you are being asked to surrender to? What are you able to embrace today? How do we move forward now that the change has been made? But now, how do we adapt? How do we allow ourselves to evolve and continue to move forward with these changes? So maybe you take the next few moments to set an intention for yourself. Or perhaps there's an affirmation in your practice that you would like to repeat in this moment. I intend to move forward with the changes happening in my life, whether or not I made them, whether they happened by choice or whether it was out of my control. I'm going to embrace them because that is truly the only way I can continue to grow and prosper and flourish in this environment that I have created for myself. In our practice today, we'll be working with a flowing sequence, holding some balancing poses as well. And now I welcome you to join me in our warm-up. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position on your mat. Eyes are still gently softened here. We'll go ahead and bring our hands to our knees. And we'll begin our warm-up by taking some full body circles to warm up our hips today. So I'll begin by going towards my left, and as I inhale, I'm coming forward, opening up my chest, lifting the crown of my head, and as I exhale, I'm rounding my spine and coming back. Go ahead and take that 2 more times in this direction. So I inhale, coming forward, proud chest. Exhale, tuck and round. 1 more time. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, round. Go ahead and pause once you've returned to the front again, and we'll go ahead and change direction. So now I'm inhaling, coming forward, opposite direction. Exhale, tuck and round my spine. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Returning to our neutral position. Let's take a breath together. Inhaling through your nose. Pausing at the top here once you've filled your lungs. And go ahead and take another straw sip in through the mouth. And as you exhale, feel free to let out that loud, audible sigh. Let's do that one more time. We inhale through our nose, filling the lungs, pausing at the top. Take one more sip of air in through your mouth. And exhale. Let it go. We inhale, sweep those arms overhead, gaze between those fingers, and go ahead and exhale, plant those palms into the mat, shifting into your tabletop position. On all fours here, hands are below the shoulders, knees are below those hips, and begin to find any fluid movement that feels good for you today. As you know, if you've watched my other videos, I love to start my warm-up with this. Maybe dropping those hips back to the heels, moving in a circle. No one's watching. Just move as freely as you want. It's your practice. All right. Once you feel like you've gone in a couple different directions, go ahead and find that neutral spine. Coming into a few rounds of cat and cow. We'll go ahead and drop the belly, lift the chin for cow. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone for our cat. Taking that 2 more times. We inhale for cow and exhale into your cat. Last time. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and find that neutral spine. Shifting into our bird dog here. We're going to extend that right arm long, left leg back, flexing that left foot. We inhale a little bit to lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow to hold here. We inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, go ahead and plant that palm and knee back on your mat. Taking bird dog on the opposite side, we extend that left arm long, right leg back, flexing that right foot. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to hold. We inhale. Stay for that exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant that knee and hand on the mat. Go ahead and take anything else you need before we shift into our downward dog. Maybe we press into those hands, massaging our wrists, taking it both directions. Maybe we move those fingertips facing to the outer edges of our mat, rocking side to side. And go ahead and bring those hands back to that neutral position. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, go ahead and take your first downward dog of the practice. Take your time, pedal out here. Maybe you inhale, come up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, drop those heels towards the mat. On empty, feet to hands. We inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arm sweep overhead. Send those hips forward for a gentle back bend. Exhale, Tadasana. So we'll start with a few rounds of our Surya Namaskar A, and then we'll move into some standing sequence variations, working with our upper body and adding some balance poses in there as well. So join me at the top of your mat. As you know, I like to activate my feet, really ground us in this moment here. So go ahead and start with that right foot, lifting all the toes, and one by one, firmly planting those into the mat. Go ahead and take that same thing on the left side, lifting all the toes, and one by one, firmly planting them down into our mat. Feet are hip width distance apart. Let's flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Take your first chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, go ahead and push it back into a child's pose. Planting those hands into the mat, pushing your hips down. We're starting off a little slow today. Find your breath. Option here to rest your forehead down on the mat if that feels comfortable. We're only here for one more breath. Maybe you take this time to come back to your intention or your affirmation. On our next inhale, go ahead and push yourself up to that tabletop position. Exhale, tuck the toes, send it back. Downward facing dog. All right. We inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, sink those heels into the mat. On empty, walk those feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. All right, we're moving. 2 more times. Let's do it. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Take your time, find your breath, pedal it out here. We inhale, come up onto those toes, and exhale, try to drop those heels again down to the mat. You know the drill. On empty, we walk feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. All right, we'll go ahead and take that one more time. Awesome job. Hopefully our bodies are feeling fluid and loose. Let's flow. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back, taking your chaturanga. We inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. We send it back, downward facing dog. Pedal out here. Remember not to push into those wrists, but really activate all of those knuckles in your hands. Imagine you have gecko hands. Really spread those fingers nice and wide. Inhale, we come up onto the toes. Exhale, sink those heels down. On empty, feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Grounding those feet, we inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, big sigh. Tadasana. All right, friends, so we're moving into our variation 1 of our standing sequence. I will be starting on the side of my mat on our right side. Take a sip of water if you need it. I have my tea with me. All right, our first standing sequence. Let's flow. Activate those feet at the top of your mat. And we flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Take your vinyasa. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back for your downward facing dog. This time we inhale, right leg sweeps up to the sky. Maybe you take a moment, stack that hip on top of the left, opening up, maybe taking some ankle rolls. Exhale, we step the right foot through those hands, okay? Before we move anywhere, set yourself up. We're moving into high crescent lunge. Option is stay here, or maybe you drop that left knee, untuck those toes. However, if you're with me, on our next inhale, we sweep those arms up, high crescent lunge. And on the exhale, we drop those arms, airplane arms, gaze is at the floor. Inhale, arms up, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane to hold here for 2 breaths. Really keeping those arms strong. Gaze can be at your right big toe. On our third inhale, sweep those arms back up. Sink a little deeper. Exhale, frame that right foot. Step it back. Take your vinyasa. We inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. Find your breath. We're moving on to the left side. All right, on our next inhale, sweep that left leg up to the sky, stack that hip on top of the right. Maybe you take those ankle circles here. Exhale, step the left through those hands, setting yourself up for high crescent lunge. Again, the option to drop that right knee, untuck those toes if you need a modified version today. On our next inhale, sweep those arms up, high crescent lunge. On the exhale, we drop the arms back, airplane arms. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane to hold here, 2 breaths. Gazing at that left big toe this time. We're strong. On our third inhale right now, we sweep those arms up, sink a little deeper. Exhale, drop the hands, frame that left foot. We step it back, take your vinyasa. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. I know they're moving a little fast there. Take some water if you need it. Listen to your body. I'm only here for guidance. Breathing. Inhale, come up onto those toes. Exhale, drop those heels. On empty, we meet the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, big Tadasana, mountain pose. Awesome job, friends. Okay, so moving from there, we'll add on a couple other variations. Take some water or tea if you need it. I regret having my sweatshirt on, and I'm scared if I take it off, I'm going to mess up the mic, which is new. Thank you. Shout out Hayden. Now you can actually hear me. Okay, variation 2. Let's flow. Activate those feet at the top of your mat. Spread those toes. Really ground yourself here. We're moving. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, we send it back. Downward facing dog. Right side, we inhale, sweep that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot through. Preparing again here for high lunge. Option to keep that left knee down. On our next inhale, arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, drop those arms into airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms to hold here for 2 breaths. You're so strong. Hold it. On the next inhale, bring those hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And on our exhale, we're going to send ourselves into warrior 3. So I'm kicking off my left foot, shifting into my warrior 3. So option here to have a block at the base of your mat. I'm squaring my hips. Hands can stay at heart center. Whew, feeling a little wobbly today. Gazing at the floor. Or if I want a little bit more, maybe I extend my arms long. We're holding here for 3 breaths. If you need to hold this block here, this is a great modification. Just try to make sure you're squaring that hip. So maybe you have to drop that left side down a little bit, keeping that left foot flexed. 1 more breath here. Whoo, I'm shaking. Inhale. Exhale. On our next inhale, swing that left knee up to the chest. And as we exhale, we're going to come into our tree pose. We can bring that left foot to either the top of our right foot, our inner shin, or go ahead and bring it up to that right inner thigh. Hands will start at our heart center, Anjali Mudra. Option to stay here, or if you're with me on the next inhale, go ahead and grow that tree. Expand your branches, maybe opening into cactus arms. Gazing at something still, or if you want to challenge, close your eyes. We're here for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring those hands back to heart center. As you exhale, release that foot from your thigh, but keep that left knee lifted. As we extend our arms long above us, shift that left foot back, stepping into your high crescent lunge. We inhale, reach forward. Exhale, frame that right foot, stepping it back, taking your chaturanga. Awesome job if you're with me. Find yourselves back in your downward facing dog. Take any breath that you need here. I know that was a lot of movement, a lot of balancing. Shake out that right leg if you need to. And we'll find ourselves in our downward dog moving on to our left side. So on the next inhale, sweep that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps between those hands, setting ourselves up for our high crescent lunge. We inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, drop them for airplane. Inhale up. Exhale, airplane. Inhale up. Exhale, airplane to hold for 2 breaths. On that next inhale, we bring those hands to heart center. And then as we exhale, we're shifting into our warrior 3 here. I'm shifting the weight into my left foot, pushing off of my right foot, coming into warrior 3 on that left side. Option to stay here, hands at heart center. Option to take a block for some extra support. Make sure you're still squaring that right hip down. Or maybe you take those arms out in front of you, gazing down at that mat. Warrior 3 for 2 more breaths. You're so strong. Hold it here. On our next inhale, we're going to sweep that right knee up to the chest. And as you exhale, go ahead and find that tree pose on the left side. So whether that's the top of the left foot, inner shin, or inner thigh, finding tree here. Hands are at our heart center. Stay here on the next inhale. Go ahead and grow your tree. Maybe you take the same thing on the other side, or go ahead and try those pointer fingers, if you can see here. Pointer fingers. Finding your drishti, your focus point. 2 more breaths. Rooting ourselves here. 1 more inhale. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, remove that right foot, but keep that right knee lifted to the chest. Extend those arms overhead. And as you reach forward, step that right foot back, resting in our high lunge. We inhale, reach forward. Exhale, drop the hands, frame the left foot. We step back, taking your vinyasa. Inhale for cobra, up dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Pedal out here. You guys are crushing it. Inhale, coming up onto those toes. Exhale, drop those heels on empty, feet to hands, top of your mat. We inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take that one final time, moving from breath to movement, so it will be a little bit quicker. So join me at the top of your mat. We are moving on to our right side. Last standing series. You can do this. Let's flow. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands. Maybe you step or jump back into your chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, up dog. Exhale, send it back for your downward facing dog. Right leg sweeps up. We inhale. Exhale, plant that foot between those hands, setting up for high lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, bring those hands to heart center. On the next exhale, we shift into our warrior 3 right side. Inhale, bring that knee up to chest. Exhale, find your tree right side. Hands are at heart center. Inhale, growing your tree. Maybe we open back into those cactus arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release that foot, but keep that knee lifted to your chest. Arms reach up. Slowly stepping that left foot back until we gently and with control step into our high lunge. Inhale, maybe reaching back this time. Exhale, chaturanga, planting those hands, taking your vinyasa. Finding yourself back in your downward facing dog. Breathing here before we move on to our left side. Final side. Hang in there, friends. Okay, we can do this. We inhale, sweep our left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, send yourself into your warrior three. Inhale, sweep that knee up to chest. Exhale, find your tree pose. Hands at heart center, Anjali Mudra. We inhale, reaching those branches up, opening up your tree. Taking a deep inhale and exhale, hands to heart center. We release that right foot from our left thigh. Keep that knee lifted at the chest. Open those arms up to the sky, slowly and with control, stepping that right foot back until you land in your high lunge. Inhale with that gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, take your vinyasa. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale for your downward facing dog. Take a big inhale here and release that loud audible sigh. You're almost there. You're doing so good. Inhale, come up onto those toes. Exhale, drop the heels down on empty, feet to hands at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep those arms over your head. Exhale, big sigh. Tadasana. All right, we're flowing through the sun A as we move into our malasana. Okay, so we're here on our mat. So we inhale, sweep those arms up, gaze between those fingers, send those hips forward this time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant those hands, step it back, take your vinyasa, or move right into your downward dog. Always an option to skip your vinyasa. Remember, you don't need to listen to everything I say. We're moving into our malasana squat. So I invite you to start with your right leg first. You're going to reach that right foot, stepping it forward as if you're going to touch your knee to your elbow, but go ahead and step that right foot on the outside of your right hand, just behind it. Heels in, toes out. Following with your left, this might be a big jump, so if you need to take it in a couple steps, please do. But we're meeting our left foot up to where our right was on the left side. So stepping that left foot, see, it takes me even a couple of steps, moving into our malasana squat. Okay, here we are. So my heels are in, toes are out. My tailbone is facing down to the ground. My chest is lifted, proud chest. We're here in our malasana squat. Option with the block here. Throw that block under your sits bones for some extra support. Remember, a block has 3 different heights. So maybe if if this isn't enough, we go to the second height. If this still isn't enough, go to that third height. Go to that third height. Okay? Play around with it, see what feels good. Here in our malasana squat, maybe we rock those knees in side to side, really opening up those hips. Find your breath. We're going to come into some openers here. So I invite you to plant your right hand on the outside front part of your right foot. Okay, so over here, a little bit out to the side. On the inhale, open up that left arm, stretch it nice and wide, gazing up at that left hand. Exhale, bring those hands back to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Same thing, left side, planting that left hand on the outer front part of your left foot. Inhale, opening up that right side, gazing now at your right hand. And exhale, back to center. Let's take that one more time each side, planting that right hand down. Inhale, opening up my left side of the chest. Exhale, back to heart center. One more time, left hand plants. We inhale, open up that right arm, gaze at that right finger. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Option now here, I'll offer a couple of transitions. For Malasana, if you're feeling like you want to do an arm balance today, I invite you to come into crow as we shift onto our bellies. If you're like, heck no, Lucy, what are you thinking? You can take my second option. Okay. So I'll cue crow first. As you know, we plant those hands in front of us. The knees come right in towards our armpits. Walk those feet in a little bit so that the toes are facing the wrists. Kind of locking my knees into my armpit area. Gaze is just in front of me. Gecko fingers. We're not just pushing into those wrists. We're spreading those fingers, distributing our weight. Coming into our crow, shooting those legs back, lowering all the way down onto our bellies. Great. If that is not in your practice, or you're just like, no way, from our Malasana, plant those hands, and one at a time, the way that we came into our Malasana, step those feet back, maybe walk the toes back a little bit, and slowly, with control, lower down onto your mat, untucking those feet. We'll go ahead and take a couple of rounds of our locust pose, strengthening our back, and then we'll move into some other things. I have a couple of fun transitions that I'm excited to share with you guys today. All right, shifting into our locust pose. Arms are down by your side, palms facing down. On the inhale, you're going to lift your limbs, lifting those arms, lifting the front of the torso, and lifting those legs. So on our next inhale, when you're ready, we inhale to lift. We want to keep our neck long and in line with our spine. We're rotating those thighs inward and really reaching through your legs here. We're here for 2 more breaths, okay? If I want my neck a little bit lower, really in line with my spine. Keep breathing. Last inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. Maybe you drop one cheek onto the mat, or maybe you bring those hands up to support yourself at the front. We'll take one more round of locust pose. Option to keep those same arms, or maybe we go ahead and take our cactus arms, so forming that right angle with our arms. On our next inhale, get ready. We're holding for 5 breaths. We inhale up, long neck. Rotate those thighs inward. Breathing here, really reach through those legs. 3 more breaths. You are strong. You are capable. One more inhale. And exhale. Drop that head down to the mat. Release those thighs. Okay, from locust pose, we're going to move into one of my favorite shoulder stretches, which transitions into our half frog. So, have a block nearby. To start with our shoulder stretch, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys on my right side, because then when I come back around, I'll be doing half frog on the left side. So, extending my right arm out long. And if you can see, my hand is here. My right arm is straight out to my right side in line with my shoulder. Okay, very important. It's in line with my shoulder. I push through my left hand, which is almost at this right angle here. I push through my left hand to roll on to my right side. As I do that, I bring this left leg back with that knee bent and plant the sole of my foot into the mat behind this right leg. So right leg is extended, left knee is bent, sole of the foot in the mat. Option to stay here. Maybe you grab that block to support your head. That feels a little bit better. Option to keep that hand here, or maybe you swing it around, rest it on your lower back to really open up this chest area. Finding your breath here. We'll stay for several breaths. Feel that right side shoulder stretch. Take one more inhale here. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to bring that left hand back around, planting that left hand into the mat, rolling back onto our stomachs, but keep that left knee bent because as we roll down, we're going to drop that left knee into our half frog, okay? So right arm can stay extended out this way if that's comfortable. I also invite you to bring this block under that left knee to allow for a deeper stretch. And if you notice, my knee's looking a little high here. So I want to bring my knee back so that it's in line with my hip. And then I'm dropping my head down to the mat. And maybe I just keep my foot rested there like this. So this is our half frog. It's a lot more gentle than the full frog. Just a nice Monday evening stretch here. And breathing here. And I welcome you to still keep that right arm extended out to the right side because as we inhale, we're going to push our weight back into this right side, coming back into that shoulder stretch just for a brief moment here. And then exhale, straighten that left knee, rolling back onto our stomach. Going ahead and taking that same stretch over on the opposite side. So this time extending my left arm out long, hand is in line with my shoulder, pushing my weight into my right hand, rolling onto my left side this time, planting the sole of my right foot into that mat and maybe reaching my right arm over behind. Staying here, or maybe you want to put that block underneath your head for that gentle head rest. Breathing here for 3 breaths. On our next inhale, go ahead and reach that right arm back over, planting those fingertips into the mat. Keeping that right knee bent this time, we roll over, pressing into our half frog on the right side. Same thing, go ahead and take that block under your right knee and really make sure that that knee is in line with your hip here. Option to keep that left arm extended, dropping that right arm down to the mat, forearm resting on the mat. And breathing here in our half frog on the right side for a few breaths. All right, guys, on our next inhale, pressing into the right hand, left arm is still extended. We roll back over onto that left side, coming back into that shoulder stretch for just 1 breath. And then exhaling, rolling back onto our stomachs and bringing those hands just below our shoulders. We're going to come into a baby cobra here. So hands are planted just below my shoulders. I'm rolling my shoulders back almost as if I'm retracting them slightly, pushing up on an inhale into my baby cobra. And then exhale, tuck the toes, push my weight into my knees, send it back for a wide-legged child's pose. Pushing my hips into my heels, I push the mat away with my hands. And I invite you to walk your hands over to the left side here. Maybe planting that right hand on top of your left, allowing for that deep right side stretch. And then exhale, sinking a little deeper here. Inhale, walk your hands back through center all the way over to that right side this time. Maybe dropping that left hand on top of the right. And sinking a little deeper into this stretch. And go ahead and walk those hands back to the center. On our next inhale, send yourself up into a tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, send it back into your final downward dog of the practice. We're moving through one more Malasana squat as we transition onto our backs. So however you want to get there, I'm starting with my right foot, stepping forward on the outside of my right hand, joined by my left. On the inhale, go ahead and sweep those arms up and over, planting them behind you as we shift down onto our sits bones. Soles of the feet are planted into the mat. We have a few bridge variations before we find some stillness here on our mats. So I invite you to slowly lower yourself down onto your mat. Soles of the feet are planted into the mat. Make sure you can just barely graze the backs of those heels. Feet are hip-width distance apart. And as we inhale, we'll take our normal bridge, sending those hips up, really engage those inner thighs, pushing the weight into all four corners of your feet. But we'll add a little variation of the arms swinging up and over, coming behind us with the tops of those hands resting on the floor. So taking the normal bridge, we inhale, pushing up. But as we inhale and push up, we sweep those arms up and back. Exhale, dropping it down to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Take that one more time before we hold our bridge. Inhale up. And exhale down. On the next inhale, we stay here to hold. Palms can be planted into the mat, or maybe we interlace our hands under, rolling those shoulders, engaging those inner thighs, pressing firmly into all four corners of your feet. Chin is slightly tucked. We're staying here for 3 more breaths. Lift a little more through those hips if you can. Final inhale. And slowly release those hands as you exhale. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Good. So go ahead and lift that right foot and drop the right ankle on the top of your left thigh. Flexing that right foot so we protect our knee. And here are a few options. So first, I could either just push gently into my right thigh, kind of pushing it away, feeling that stretch in my hip. Or maybe you want a little bit more and you go ahead and interlace those hands behind your left thigh, keeping that right foot flexed, but pulling this left thigh in towards your chest. And we'll stay here in our figure 4 for 3 breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, go ahead and lower that left foot down to the mat. Release that right foot. Now, moving on to our left side. Left ankle comes on top of the right thigh this time. Flex that left foot, protect your knee. Stay here with that gentle push into the left thigh, or maybe you go ahead, same thing, interlace those hands behind your right thigh and gently pull this leg towards your chest. Staying here for 3 breaths. Last inhale. And exhale, slowly lower that foot down to the mat, releasing the left down to the mat as well. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a gentle squeeze here. And for our final pose before Shavasana, we'll go ahead and take our happy baby. So bringing those knees towards our armpits, we grab the outer edges of our feet. Try to reach that tailbone forward, planting your sacrum and lower back into your mat. And allow yourself here to just gently rock from side to side, massaging out that spine. Finding any movement you need here. If there's anything else that's calling to you before you find your Shavasana in today's practice, please take that pose. You have the time. However, if you're ready to join me, we'll go ahead and bring those knees back into our chest. This time, really giving ourselves a tight squeeze as we go ahead and lift our chin towards our knees. Inhaling here, squeezing everything as tightly as you can. Once you've filled your lungs on that inhale, go ahead and pause and take one more sip of air in through your mouth. And as you exhale, release that loud, audible sigh. Extend those legs long out on your mat in front of you. Arms fall down by your side, palms face up. Release any extra sighs of air that you do not need with you in this moment. As you enter into your Shavasana, release control of your breath. Allow yourself to be heavy here in your mat. Allow any thoughts from your intention or from your practice today to just float by. You've done the hard work. This is your time to rest here in your Shavasana. Begin to bring some movement back into your body, reconnecting with your breath. Perhaps wiggling your toes and your fingers. Maybe adding a little smile on your face. I welcome you to place your left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. And as you inhale, breath in, feel the belly rise with air. And as you exhale, breath out, feel it soften back into the mat. As you find this movement back in your body, I invite you to bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself one final hug for your practice today. And maybe here you begin to find some rocking and rolling, swaying movements, massaging out that spine once more, until you gently fall onto one side of your mat. Returning to this question I asked at the beginning of class, what are you being asked to surrender to? In this moment, in your fetal position, our most vulnerable position, allow yourself to surrender here. These changes are essential to our lives, and we suffer the most when we try to resist them. Throughout your practice today, I hope you have found a way to embrace the changes happening around you. And surrendering is not seen as a weakness. It is seen as a blessing of being able to move forward with the changes happening, knowing that we are strong enough to adapt to them and grow from them. From this fetal position, I invite you to slowly and warmly push yourself up into this comfortable seat on the top of your mat, keeping those eyes gently softened if that feels okay for you today. Allow yourself to grow from what is happening around you. Reawakening our minds and our bodies from this practice today, I invite you to inhale through your nose and exhale out an audible sigh, softening yourself into your mat. On our next inhale, go ahead and maybe flutter those eyes open as you bring those arms overhead, palms meet above. And exhale, drop those hands down to your heart center. Thank your body for its ability to move through this flow with me today. And thank your mind for being curious about the unknown. as resistant as we may be to it, we learn to accept what is, to reduce the suffering that comes from resistance. And thank yourself for showing up today for you and for taking everything that you needed and leaving everything that you did not. On our next inhale, I invite you to bring your thumb knuckles to the third eye center, our center of intuition. And as we exhale, we'll bow forward. And if you'd like to join me, we'll end this class by saying Namaste. Happy part 3 of our shifting series. Thank you guys.